Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into potential paydays. If you've ever tossed a penny aside thinking it was just 1 cent, well, today's episode is gonna make you rethink everything, because we're talking about a 2006 Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Yes, you heard that right, over $1 million for a coin you might have stepped on in a gas station parking lot. Stick around because I'm going to tell you exactly why this coin is worth so much, how to spot one in your own change, and what to do if you think you've got a little treasure hiding in your couch cushions. Plus, I've got a story about how I almost threw one away without even knowing it. Alright, let's dig in, starting with a little background on the 2006 Lincoln penny. Now, I know what you're thinking, 2006 wasn't exactly the Stone Age, it was just yesterday in coin collecting years, so how on earth is a modern penny worth more than a luxury car? Well, it all comes down to rarity, condition, and error coins. That's the holy trinity of coin collecting, and the 2006 Lincoln penny hits all three. So first things first, the D mint mark means it was made in Denver, not a rare mint mark in itself. But here's the twist, not all 2006 pennies are created equal. There's a rare error version where the penny was double struck or even struck on the wrong planchet, meaning it was stamped on a blank meant for a different coin. Imagine putting a pizza on a tortilla and then baking it. That's what happened here. Now let's talk value. Regular 2006 pennies are everywhere. You probably have one in your car's cup holder covered in gum wrappers, but a specific 2006 penny in near perfect condition and with that ultra rare error sold for $1.1 million in a private auction. Let me say that again in case you were sipping your coffee and choked. A penny 1 cent sold for $1.1 million. This coin had all the goods. It was graded MS69 by a top grading service, almost flawless, and featured a striking double die error, and because hardly any exist in that condition, collectors went absolutely bananas over it. Now here's where it gets personal. A couple years ago I was cleaning out a drawer in my kitchen. You know the one I'm talking about, that drawer full of rubber bands, dried up pens, dead batteries, and exactly 47 coins that smell faintly of old pennies. I was tossing coins into a jar when one caught my eye. It had this weird shimmer and a double image on Lincoln's face. I almost tossed it, but something told me to hold on to it. I looked it up and turns out it wasn't the $1 million penny, but it was still worth a few $100. Ever since then I've been hooked, checking every coin that passes through my hands like I'm Indiana Jones searching for the Ark of the Numismatic Covenant. So how do you know if your 2006 penny is the golden goose? One sharp bold doubling on Lincoln's eye, or the date, especially if it looks like he stayed up all night watching Netflix. 2 coins with odd metal coloring or the wrong thickness could mean it was struck on the wrong planchet. 3 no visible wear, sharp edges, and full original luster. That's what coin nerds call it freshman shine. 4 get it graded. If it looks odd or perfect or both, send it to a professional grading service. $1 million is worth the $50 grading fee, trust me. Also, avoid cleaning your coins. That's like taking a vintage Rolex and scrubbing it with steel wool. Just Dante. Let's talk market demand. The coin world is full of people ready to drop serious cash on rare finds, especially newer rare coins, because they're unexpected. It's like finding a first edition Harry Potter book in your attic while searching for Halloween decorations. So yeah, there's real money out there waiting in your loose change. If you think coins are just for vending machines, think again. I mean, can you imagine going to buy a stick of gum and accidentally handing over $1 million? That's the kind of oops moment that haunts you in your dreams. So to wrap things up, the 2006 Lincoln penny may seem ordinary, but in the right condition and with the right error, it's anything but ordinary. It could be a life-changing find hiding right under your nose or between your couch cushions or in that mystery drawer we all pretend doesn't exist. Coin collecting isn't just for old guys invests anymore. It's for anyone who wants to turn spare change into smart investments, and hey, maybe even a little fun along the way. If you liked this video and want more tips on valuable coins to look for, how to identify them, and stories of people who cashed in big, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a weird or interesting coin. I've got tons more content coming up about coins worth real money, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. Hey folks, let me hit you with a wild one right off the bat. Imagine reaching into your car's cup holder or your couch cushions and pulling out a single penny that's worth more than a Lamborghini. Yep, you heard that right. Today we're diving deep into the 2021 Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny and how one of these bad boys could be worth up to $1.2 million. That's not a typo, that's 6 zeros for a single 1 cent coin. So sit tight, grab your coin jar and maybe a snack, because we're gonna unpack the mystery, the madness, and the moolah behind this crazy coin. Before we dive in, let me tell you a quick story that'll make you laugh, cry, and then go dig through your spare change. Alright, so picture this. A couple of years ago I was at my cousin Mikey's barbecue. He's one of those guys who'll invite you over for burgers but make you flip your own. Then halfway through eating a hot dog with more mustard on my shirt than in my mouth, I saw his little nephew running around with a handful of pennies. He was flinging them around like confetti, and I'm just sitting there like, buddy, that's not Chuck E. Cheese tokens. One of the coins hits me in the knee. I pick it up and there it is, a 2021 penny with a shiny D mint mark. I kept it mostly because I was bleeding emotionally from that mustard explosion, but also because I have a weird obsession with coins. Fast forward to last month, I'm organizing my change like a total nerd and I come across that same penny. Long story short, it got me down the rabbit hole, and oh boy, what I found will blow your socks off. So here's what's up with the 2021 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint, hence the D right. But what makes this little copper-colored cutie worth $1.2 million? Well, not every coin is created equal, and this one had a little extra magic sprinkled in. First, let's talk about mint errors. These are like the typos of the coin world. Sometimes the die isn't aligned properly, sometimes there's a double strike. Sometimes they use the wrong metal, sometimes the coin is just straight up having a bad hair day. If your 2021 D penny has one of these rare quirks, congratulations, you're potentially sitting on a fortune. One of the most valuable types of these is the double die error. Look closely at the date or the words liberty and in God we trust. If they look a little fuzzy or doubled up, that's not your eyes playing tricks, that could be the rare variety. Collectors go nuts over add pristine condition into the mix. And baby, you've got a stew going. Now let's talk about grading. Coins are like wine, the better they age and the fewer imperfections they have, the more valuable they become. If your penny looks like it just left the mint like yesterday and it's been chilling in a velvet pouch instead of riding shotgun in your glove box, it could be what collectors call mint state 67 or higher. That's collector gold. So who's paying $1.2 million for a penny? Rich people. That's who. Some collectors have the money and passion to hunt down the rarest of the rare. One such penny sold at auction recently, and let me tell you, the bidding war looked like a reality TV show. There was drama, suspense, and a whole lot of gasping from coin nerds like myself. But let me be clear, not every 2021 D penny is worth millions. You're more likely to find a regular one worth well a penny, but if you find one with an error and in pristine condition, you've hit the jackpot. So don't go quitting your job just yet unless your job is literally coin hunting, in which case you keep doing your treasure hunter. Alright, now here's the $1,000,000 question, pun fully intended. How can you find one of these treasures? Step 1, check your spare change. I'm serious, don't underestimate the power of the junk drawer. Step 2, grab a magnifying glass or use your phone camera, zoom in and look closely at the coin's date, lettering and design. If anything looks funky in a good way, you might have a winner. Also get familiar with how real errors look. There are tons of fakes out there, trust me, I've fallen for one before. Bought what I thought was a rare off-center strike penny from some guy on the internet who turned out to be selling novelty items from a vending machine. The coin literally said made in China and had a smiley face on the back. I still keep it as a reminder not to trust. Greg from Craigslist. Now if you think you've got something special, send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These are the experts who can give your coin a proper evaluation and certification, just like getting a diploma, but for your penny. And if it checks out, you could be looking at a life-changing pile of cash. And hey, if you're wondering why the Lincoln penny in particular gets so much attention, here's a fun little fact. It's one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. Honest Abe has been chillin' on that copper throne since 1909. That's over a century of pocket change fame. Respect. Alright, let's recap. So far you got your 2021 D penny. You're checking for mint errors, especially double dies or off-center strikes. You're looking for pristine condition and maybe getting it graded. If all those boxes are ticked, you could be looking at 6 or even 7 figures for your 1-cent investment. Let me throw in another tip. Join some online coin forums or local collector groups. You'll learn fast what to look for and what's total bunk. Plus it's full of people like me who love to talk about money that doesn't spend like money because it's too valuable to spend. It's like having a secret society, except instead of weird rituals, we just obsess over shiny things. Alright folks, we've covered a lot today. We laughed, we learned, we even imagined being slapped by a millionaire penny. All in all, a good time, right? So here's what I want you to do. Grab that coffee jar, the one that's been collecting coins since before TikTok existed. Sort through those coins like your life depends on it, because who knows, that one little penny hiding in there could be your ticket to millionaire status. And if you love content like this, stories about rare coins, hidden treasure, and how to turn pocket change into big bucks, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Smash it like your cousin Mikey smashing burgers on a grill that's clearly too small for the party. Tap the bell so you never miss out on coin tips, news, and the occasional coin-related dad joke. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a weird-looking coin, or if you just want to say hey. And remember, the next time someone tosses a penny your way, you might want to catch it, because it could be the most valuable thing you ever catch in your life. Hey, coin hunters and treasure seekers, welcome back to the channel where your pocket change just might change your life. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever dropped a penny and just let it roll under the couch like it owed you money? Yeah, same. But what if I told you that one of those little copper guys, specifically a 1979 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, is out here flexing with a value of $1.3 million? That's right, $1.3 million for a single penny. Let that sink in. That's $1 million penny just chilling, looking like every other one you've probably ignored for years. It's like Clark Kent hiding in your junk drawer. In today's video, we're diving deep into the secrets of the 1979 D Lincoln penny, how it got so valuable, what to look for, and of course, how you can tell if you're sitting on a fortune or just another face-down coin of disappointment. So buckle up, grab a magnifying glass, and maybe rummage through your couch cushions while we talk, because this episode might just make you rich, or at least way more excited about loose change. Alright, story time. So a while back, I was visiting my grandma, the kind who always has those dusty old coin jars and every single appliance from the 70s still working. I'm sipping my iced tea, half listening to her telling me about how butter used to cost a nickel, when I noticed this rusty little penny stuck under a vase. I pick it up just because I'm curious like that, and it hits me now at that point, I didn't know it was worth anything. I just thought, it's kinda old. I tossed it in my jacket pocket, went home, and forgot about it for like 3 weeks. Then one day I'm watching a coin video. Yes, I watch coin videos too, and the guy mentions the 1979 D penny worth over $1 million because of a rare error. I sprinted to my laundry pile like a man on a mission, dug out that jacket, and pulled out that penny. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the $1 million one. But ever since then, I've been obsessed. Most 1979 pennies are, well, just pennies. But a few of them are basically coin royalty. What makes the difference? If you flip that penny over and see a little D under the date, congrats, that means it was minted in Denver. Most of them are common. But a few? Oh baby, a few of them came out with super rare mint errors that make collectors foam at the mouth. Now here's the juicy part. Some 1979 D pennies were struck twice or had misalignments that caused doubling on the letters, especially Liberty or I in God We Trust. If the doubling is visible and clear, that's the kind of mistake worth celebrating. If your 1979 D penny is scratched up like it's been through a cheese grater, it's probably not gonna hit that $1 million mark. But if it's mint state or proof-like, meaning it's shiny, crisp, and looks like it just came from the mint, you're in business. We're talking grades like MS65 and higher. And get this, one of these pennies in nearly perfect condition sold at auction for over $1.3 million. Someone actually paid 7 figures for a coin that could fall through a sidewalk cracked clean, shiny 1979 D penny with no error equals maybe a couple bucks. Rare error version, mint condition, professionally graded equals up to $1.30 million. Look for that little D under the ear. Get out a magnifying glass or just zoom in with your phone camera and check for any doubling on the letters, especially Liberty. Look at the surface. If it's shiny, free of scratches, and has strong details, that's a good sign. If you think you've got something special, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll give it an official grade and help you sell it for top dollar. Now, here's a fun fact. Back in the day, the US Mint wasn't exactly perfect. They were churning out millions of coins every day, and sometimes things slipped through. It's those tiny mistakes, those weird little flaws, that now make certain coins so valuable. A flawed coin being worth more than a perfect one? Almost like life. Deep thoughts from a coin nerd. Now I know what you're thinking. I probably don't have that kind of penny. I mean, what are the odds? Well, let me tell you, people find rare coins in the weirdest places. Junk drawers, garage sales, even in tip jars. One guy found his $1 million penny in a roll of coins he got from the bank. Imagine walking in with $50 and walking out with a coin worth a house. Moral of the story? Always check your change. You never know when fate's gonna drop a jackpot in your hand. The 1979 D Abraham Lincoln penny might just be the most exciting thing you've ignored in your wallet. With rare errors and high-grade versions hitting auction prices of $1.3 million, this little copper coin has officially entered the Coin Collector Hall of Fame. So next time you get change at the gas station or dig through an old coin jar, take a second look. That penny might just be your golden ticket. And hey, if you found this video helpful, entertaining, or it made you laugh even a little bit, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and ring that bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming tips on coins worth money, rare finds, and treasure hunting strategies you can do right from home. And don't forget to share this video with a friend, especially that one friend who always pays in cash. You might just help them discover a $1 million penny. Hey coin hunters and curious minds, welcome back to the channel where loose change might just be your golden ticket. If you've ever tossed a penny aside thinking it's worthless, you might want to sit down for this one, or better yet check your couch cushions, because today we're talking about a plain little coin that's turning heads in the collector world. Yep, I'm talking about the 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny, and buckle up because this bad boy is worth a whopping $14 million. That's right. Not 14 cents, not even $1,400, $14 million for a single coppery coin you might have used to scratch a lottery ticket or prop up a wobbly table leg. And trust me, you don't need a monocle or a secret vault to get in on the action. Anyone can find one, and I'll show you exactly what to look for, so stick around because by the end of this video you'll be staring at every penny like it's a winning lottery ticket. So, what's the deal with this 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny? And why is it making collectors go bananas? Well, first of all, no mint mark means it was made at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically doesn't stamp a mint mark on its coins. That part's not super special, but here's where things get juicy. The 1993 no mint mark penny that's worth $14 million isn't just your run-of-the-mill pocket change. It's got a combo of extreme rarity and insane error in pristine condition. Imagine a unicorn that tripped and fell into a pot of gold during a solar eclipse. That kind of rare. Now legend has it that only a handful of these super valuable 1993 pennies were accidentally struck on the wrong planchet. That's the metal disc used to make coins. Basically, someone at the mint was having a rough Monday and fed in a blank intended for a different coin like a dime or even a foreign coin. And to make matters even crazier, these coins were struck perfectly. The design was crisp, the details were sharp, and they didn't get all scratched up in circulation. So when a few sharp-eyed collectors found them, they hit the jackpot. Now let me pause for a second and tell you a quick story about how I got into this whole coin collecting madness. A few years back I was visiting my grandma and helping her clean out an old drawer. We're talking receipts from 1982, expired cough syrup, and a Ziploc full of random coins. I'm flipping through them out of boredom when I spot this odd-looking penny. It looked shinier than the rest, and Lincoln's head was slightly off-center. I took it home, googled it, and bam, it was a 1983 double-die penny worth a few $100. After that I was hooked. I started checking every penny I came across. I became that guy at the vending machine fishing for coins like a raccoon digging through a trash can, and that's how I found out about the infamous 1993 no mint mark penny. Now back to business. How do you spot one of these million-dollar beauties? First, grab a magnifying glass, or if you're under 30, just use your phone's zoom feature. Next, look for the absence of a mint mark below the date. Easy peasy. Now here's the kicker. Check the weight. A normal 1993 penny should weigh about 25 grams because by then they were made mostly of zinc with a copper coating, but the valuable error versions are sometimes struck on copper planchets left over from pre-1982 pennies. Those weigh around 31 grams. If your 1993 penny has no mint mark and weighs over 3 grams, you might be onto something. Also check the edges. They should be smooth and clean. If they look weird or like they were stamped off center, that's another red flag or green flag depending on how you look at it. The one that sold for $14 million was in nearly perfect condition, graded MS-70 by a professional grading service. That's basically the holy grail of coin grades. Not a scratch, not a nick, not even a smudge from someone's breakfast burrito. And you know what's wild? It was found in circulation, just chilling in the wild, ready to be scooped up by someone with an eye for treasure. So if you've got a piggy bank full of pennies or a drawer you haven't cleaned out since the 90s, it's time to get digging. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. The 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny might look plain and boring, but don't judge a book by its copper cover. This little guy could be your ticket to a new house, a dream vacation, or a lifetime supply of tacos. All you need is a good eye, a bit of patience, and maybe a little luck. So here's your homework. Go check your change jar, your car's cup holder, your old wallets, whatever coins you've got laying around. Give them a second look and you just might be sitting on a fortune. And if you found this video helpful or even mildly entertaining, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel because I'm dropping more coin tips, tricks, and treasure hunts that could turn your pocket change into paychecks. And hey, leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're going to start checking your pennies. Now I want to hear your stories. Hey there, fellow coin hunters. Have you ever stared at your spare change, wondering if you're holding onto a small fortune without even knowing it? Well, you might just be closer to $1 million than you think, and today, I'm talking about the 1976 no mint mark Lincoln penny that could be worth, drumroll, please, $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1.5 million. And no, I didn't pull that number out of thin air. Stick around, because I'm going to break it down for you in a way that even your grandma would understand. So grab your magnifying glass and let's dive into the world of rare pennies. Now, let's get into it. The 1976 no mint mark Lincoln penny is not your everyday pocket change. You see, most of the pennies you'll come across today are from the regular 1976 series, and they all have that little mint mark somewhere on them. But this one? The one we're talking about today, it's special. It's got a little secret, no mint mark at all. So, what does this mean for you, the lucky coin collector or casual spender just scrounging through your change jar? Well, let me explain. The mint mark tells you where the coin was made. If there's no mint mark, that's a clue that this penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. But it gets better. There was a mistake, a rare error, where some of the pennies produced that year didn't get their mint mark. And because mistakes like this are so uncommon, it's what makes them valuable. Finding a 1976 no mint mark penny is like stumbling upon a four-leaf clover. Sure, it's possible to find one in your pocket change, but it's pretty rare. And when you do find one, you're sitting on a potential gold mine, or, well, a copper mine now. Before you get too excited and start checking your couch cushions, keep in mind that not all 1976 pennies without a mint mark are worth millions. The condition of the coin, known as its grade, is crucial. If it's been sitting at the bottom of your pocket or in a dusty drawer for decades, well, it might not fetch that $1.5 million price tag. But if you've got a coin in pristine condition, even the slightest bit of wear could decrease its value by thousands. It's like buying a vintage car, right? The better it's preserved, the more it's worth. Speaking of finding rare things, let me tell you a quick personal story. A while back, I was going through a drawer at home and found a ton of old coins, mostly pennies, nickels, and dimes, all worn and tarnished. And honestly, I had no idea what they were worth. But one day, I found a 1964 quarter buried under a pile of old receipts. I thought, oh cool, a quarter. Big deal. Then I Googled it. Turns out, that quarter was worth about $25, which for me, was like hitting the jackpot. And I didn't even need a metal detector. So, I've been on this coin hunt ever since, trying to find my own $1 million penny. And let me tell you, if you've ever thought, there's no way I'll find something rare, think again. Just last month, I found a 1994 penny in my change that I later sold for a decent amount. It wasn't $1.5 million, but hey, every little bit counts. So, here's the deal. If you're lucky enough to find one of these 1976 no mint mark pennies, here's what you need to look for first. Make sure it's an actual 1976 penny. There's a lot of fake rare coins out there, so be careful. Check the date. A penny in great shape, without any visible wear or scratches, will always fetch a higher price. Third, look for authenticity. You don't want a fake. You can get your penny appraised by a professional or take it to a trusted coin dealer, and don't forget the most important thing, keep your coins safe. Store them properly, preferably in a protective holder, so they don't lose their value. So, there you have it. The 1976 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth a cool $1.5 million if you get lucky enough to find one in great condition. But don't be discouraged if you don't have one just yet. The key is to keep looking. You never know when that next coin flip could turn into a jackpot. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on how to spot rare and valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You'll get all the latest info on coins that could change your life, or at least give your wallet a nice boost. And hey, if you've ever found a coin that turned out to be worth more than you thought, share your story in the comments. We'd love to hear about it. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Have you ever found yourself staring at a penny and thinking, could this little guy be worth a fortune? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into a coin that's doing exactly that, the 2016 D-Mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yes, you heard that right, a penny from 2016 could be worth $1.6 million. It's not a typo. It's not some far-off fantasy. It's a real possibility, and I'm going to tell you how you can spot it. So, grab your magnifying glass, and let's get into it. I know, you're thinking, it's just a penny. Well, let me tell you a little secret. Pennies, like people, can sometimes be more than meets the eye. They can be rare, they can have a mistake, or they can be in amazing condition. And that's exactly what makes this particular penny stand out. Now, most of us are used to finding pennies in the bottom of our couch cushions or scattered across the sidewalk, barely giving them a second thought, right? But not every penny is created equal. In 2016, there was a specific batch of pennies minted in Denver that went on to become extremely valuable, and it's all because of a little minting error. It's what coin collectors call a strike error, and it's one of the reasons this penny could fetch upwards of $1.6 million at auction. Well, during the minting process, some of the 2016 D pennies got struck with a flaw that made them look a bit different than the rest. In simple terms, they were minted imperfectly, and those imperfections created a major demand among collectors. If you've got one of these bad boys, it could be sitting in your change jar or hidden in a drawer right now, but here's where it gets even crazier. If you do find one of these pennies, it's not just any old penny. We're talking about the kind of penny that could get you more than your rent for the month. We're talking serious cash. But how do you even know if you have one of these valuable coins in your pocket? Here's where I'm going to tell you a little story about myself. One time, I was just casually flipping through some old change, doing what we all do, right? And I stumbled upon a coin that looked a little different than the others. It didn't seem like anything special at first, just a regular penny. But I was feeling lucky, so I decided to check the year, flip it over, and bam! It was a 2016 penny with that distinctive Denver mint mark. Now, I didn't immediately jump for joy. It wasn't until I compared it to some of the photos online that I realized the imperfections that made it so valuable. Of course, mine wasn't one of those rare, mint-condition specimens worth a fortune, but it reminded me of something important. When it comes to coins, you've got to take a second look. Always.so, how do you really tell if your 2016 D penny could be worth $1.6 million? First, you've got to check the condition of the penny. The most valuable ones are in pristine, almost flawless condition. You want one that's shiny, has clear details, and isn't beat up from being tossed around in your pocket for years. And next, the error. These are the pennies that have a noticeable strike flaw. They might have a weak or incomplete image of Lincoln, or even some other strange marks on them. If it's just a regular 2016 D penny with no error, you're looking at a coin that's worth, well, a penny. But if it has that special flaw, you could be holding on to something worth a small fortune. Seriously. I know it sounds a little crazy, but it's worth it. Even if you don't think your pennies are worth much, the 2016 D Lincoln penny is proof that it's always good to check again. And who knows? That random penny in your change jar could be worth more than you ever imagined. The 2016 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, worth a staggering $1.6 million. Crazy, right? I bet you'll be checking your pockets a little more carefully after hearing that. But before you go digging through your change jar and rushing to the nearest coin dealer, remember, it's all about knowing what you're looking for. Pennies can be a hidden treasure trove, and with the right knowledge, you could uncover a true gem. But if you learned something new today and want more tips on spotting rare coins, saving money, or making some serious coin, pun intended, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more where this came from, and trust me, you won't want to miss out on future tips. Keep your eyes peeled and your change jar ready. You never know what treasures are hiding in plain sight. Hey, coin collectors! Imagine stumbling upon a penny in your pocket and thinking, this is just a regular coin. But what if I told you that this penny could be worth $1.7 million? Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into the world of the 2014 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that may look like just another penny, but in reality, could be your ticket to a serious payday. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll be checking every penny in your pocket. Trust me, you'll want to hear this one. How many of you have looked at a penny and thought, what could this possibly be worth? I'm raising my hand, because not long ago, I found an old penny on the sidewalk. I picked it up and thought, meh, probably nothing. Big mistake. If only I knew back then that some pennies are worth way more than a cup of coffee. Grab a seat, and let's talk about why this specific penny is worth so much. Get comfy, because we're about to turn your change jar into a treasure chest.so. First things first, let's set the stage. The 2014 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of those coins that sneaks up on you. It looks so unassuming at first glance. It's got Abraham Lincoln's face. The classic penny looked nothing fancy. But, here's the kicker, most of the pennies we find today have a mint mark. You know, that little D or S on the coin, which tells us where it was made. But this one? No mint mark. Zero, nada, zip. It's because in 2014, the US Mint accidentally produced a handful of these pennies without the mint mark, which isn't supposed to happen. Mint marks tell us where a coin was struck, usually Denver, D, or San Francisco, S, but in this case, it was a fluke. It's as if you went to a fast food place, ordered a burger, and they accidentally gave you a gold nugget instead. Whoops, but hey, I'm not complaining. Coins with errors or variations, like this one, are rare and highly sought after by collectors. In fact, it's this rarity that pushes the value of this penny way beyond its face value. The 2014 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, which originally had no notable value, now has some serious collector clout. And if you happen to have one sitting in your collection or even in your loose change, it could be worth a cool $1.7 million. Yeah, no typo there. Million. So, if you're carrying around a penny right now, hold on to it. You might be sitting on a small fortune. Let's talk a little about how this coin ended up being so valuable. There's a bit of controversy behind this coin. Some say it was just an error, others think it was intentionally done as a design flaw to create a limited run piece. The truth? Well, it's still up for debate. But the bottom line is that people are willing to pay a pretty penny, pun intended, for it. With a value that high, it's become one of the most talked about coins among collectors, but here's where it gets interesting. Finding a 2014 no-mint mark penny in circulation today is like finding a needle in a haystack. And don't go thinking you're going to find one on every corner. If you ever do stumble upon one, it'll be a big win. But even if you don't have one right now, there's still hope. These pennies are sometimes sold at auctions or online, and if you're patient, you can nab one at a good price. Just be careful not to fall for any shady deals. I mean, there are people who will try to pass off fakes, so make sure you know what you're looking for before you spend big bucks. Now, you might be wondering, how do I spot a 2014 no-mint mark penny if I happen to come across one? Great question. It's all about checking the obverse, the front of the coin, where Lincoln's portrait is. Look for the usual design, but instead of the mint mark, you'll notice it's missing. The back will look like any other penny, but that front? That's where the magic happens. So, next time you're flipping through your change, give that little penny a good look. It might just be the one that changes everything. I hope you're now going to treat every penny you find like it could be worth millions. I know I will. Imagine, just one penny, no mint mark, could be sitting in your change jar, waiting to make you a fortune. If that's not motivation to start checking your pockets, I don't know what is. Before we wrap this up, here's the deal. If you want to learn more about coins, how to spot valuable ones, and the best ways to build your collection, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll keep you up to date with more tips, tricks, and, of course, coins worth way more than you probably think. I'm talking about tips that can make you a coin expert in no time, and maybe even a coin millionaire. Hey, it could happen, right? And remember, as much as we'd love to find millions in our pockets, it's also the journey of coin hunting that's super fun. So, get out there, start hunting for that treasure, and who knows, the next penny you pick up could be your big break. Alright, let me ask you a question. How much is that penny in your pocket worth right now? Probably not much, right? I mean, unless you've got a 1993 mint mark Lincoln penny, in which case, stop what you're doing. You could be holding $1.8 million in your hand. Wait, what? Yeah, you heard me right. That humble, everyday coin could be worth more than your car, your vacation, and maybe even your house. Don't believe me? Well, buckle up, because we're diving into why that coin is worth more than a stack of gold bars. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Jack, and today, we're going to talk about a little penny that could, the 1993 mint mark Lincoln penny. This coin is blowing people's minds and bank accounts. By the end of this video, you might just be looking at every penny you come across a little differently. So, grab your magnifying glass, a cup of coffee, and let's uncover the secrets behind this rare treasure. Okay, before we dive into the money part, let's talk about the history. The 1993 mint mark penny was part of the standard circulation of Lincoln pennies, and it wasn't anything special at first glance. I mean, how many of you have a pocket full of these? They're not exactly something you'd get excited about, right? But that's where the magic happens. Somewhere between 1993 and now, a few of these pennies were produced with a rare mistake that's causing collectors to go absolutely nuts. We're talking about errors in the die that made these pennies more valuable than you could ever imagine. Is this some sort of coin hoax? It's not. In fact, a 1993 mint mark Lincoln penny, depending on its condition and the mistake on it, could easily be worth $1.8 million. That's no typo, my friend. This is the real deal. People are paying big bucks for this coin, and if you're lucky enough to find one in your change, you might just strike it rich. But here's the thing, it's all about the details. If you have one that's in mint condition or features a die error, it can easily become the holy grail of your collection. The typical 1993D penny is worth just a couple of cents. But, and here's where it gets interesting, the error versions have been known to sell at auction for hundreds of thousands, or in some rare cases, millions. It's all about how the coin was made, what errors it carries, and if it has the perfect look for a collector's dream. Now, let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I found a coin in my change that I was sure was worth something. I had this gut feeling that it was special, but when I looked it up, I found out it was just another regular old penny. Bummer, right? But then, I found out that a friend of mine had discovered a rare mint error coin from the 90s, and it sold for over $200,000. Can you imagine? I had almost tossed a penny like that in the jar, thinking it was worthless. That moment made me realize just how important it is to pay attention to the details. So, if you've got a 1993D penny lying around, or even better, a whole jar of them, here's the thing: don't just throw them away. Get them checked. You might have a small fortune in your pocket, and I'm not talking about the kind of fortune that buys you a coffee at Starbucks. Now, let's talk about how to spot one of these rare 1993D mint mark pennies. Here are the key things you'll want to look for. First, it's gotta have that D. If it doesn't, then it's not the right one. Look for any strange imperfections, like doubling, misstrikes, or the infamous off-center issues. Those errors are what make these pennies so valuable. The better the condition, the more valuable it'll be. If it's practically pristine, you're looking at a potential jackpot. The best way to really know if you've got a valuable penny is to get it graded by a professional. They'll assess its condition and authenticate whether it's a rare find. You'd be surprised how much that certificate can add to the value. But if you think you've got a winner, you might be wondering, how do I sell it? Well, you can start by looking at online auction sites or contacting reputable coin dealers. There are many collectors out there who would pay a pretty penny, pun intended, for a coin like this. Just make sure you don't sell it to the first person who offers you $10. Do your research and know what it's really worth before you let it go. Alright, so now you know all about the 1993D mint mark Lincoln penny and why it could be worth millions. Don't go running to check your pockets just yet, but when you do, take a minute to inspect those pennies like a pro. And hey, if you found something special, come back and let me know. I'll be over here trying to find my own lucky penny. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because we've got tons more tips and coin strategies coming your way. If you want to be the first to know when that rare coin you've got might be worth more than your car, you'll want to stick around. And hey, if you like learning about cool, valuable coins, give this video a thumbs up.